Another sort of line from your book as well, which I really thought was worth tapping in and exploring, was just you had this quote that's talking about most people wish bad things didn't happen, but very few understand the predictable and systemic and human elements behind the bad outcomes. I was just wondering if you could sort of maybe tap into that a little bit and share some of your thoughts.
One of the things I wanted to do with the book was make it more than a HOP book, or more than a safety book, or more than a just professional technical book. And I got to thinking about that as I was kind of writing early on, and I thought, how do most people handle things like mistakes? Well, they happen, and then we wish they hadn't happened. So if you think about the people in your life that aren't touching safety the way we are, don't think this way because they've never been taught, they wish bad things hadn't happened, or they wish bad things wouldn't happen, but they have no measure of how to control those. But when you give them precursors, when you give them triggers that tell them they're vulnerable to either an incident or an error, they just soak that up. And that really hit home with me when, so my oldest grandchild is 20 years old. What, no applause for that one?
Where'd you find time?
I guess so, yeah. And when she was about 16 or 17, she asked me to help her with her algebra homework. And I said, sure, I'll help you. I mean, I was a nuclear chemist. How hard can algebra be? So we're sitting there, and she has this problem, and I'm leaning over her shoulder, and I say, well, honey, I think that you have to move this over to the other side. And then what's going to happen is I'm pretty sure that's going to cancel out this part of that equation, and then I think you'll be able to do this. And my young granddaughter looked up to me and said, Papa, it sounds like you're in knowledge-based performance mode. And I thought, she's been soaking this in and hearing that when you hear somebody say, I think, I believe, I'm pretty sure, I'm almost certain, they're actually telegraphing their error rate. So she's been soaking this in, and then when I just say those kind of innocuously, she takes that and repeats it back. So how powerful is it for your family and your friends and your peers that they can then see those triggers and do something about it? And again, I wanted to write it in a way that people could relate to that even if they don't do what we do.